Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great start of the week so far, and hopefully you are staying safe in these markets. And welcome back to a new video on Bitcoin this morning. We're going to do a full update on today, what to expect, what the different possibilities are. The opening of today was relatively good. I mean, you can see that that we actually opened higher here. Bitcoin obviously doesn't have sessions like this, but ultimately, opening right here above the value area high of yesterday is usually a good sign. But right now you can also see we're trying to break back down into the value area of yesterday, and in general we have a very, very narrow base. All right, so some of those things might not mean anything to you, but that means that we are at risk of another dump right here, and we'll talk about that. And today is most likely going to be a volatile day. All right, usually when you get a narrow base like that, it's going to be volatile. But obviously right now the main theme in the markets is still the fundamentals. All right, a lot went down in the last 24 hours again. So far the markets actually look slightly better. You can see the S&P 500 right here. The pre-market is trading a bit higher. I don't have the chart right here at my disposal, but you'll have to believe me when I say that the Japanese stock markets and that the Chinese stock markets also opened higher. Excuse me. But even though at the last hour or so they've actually dropped down a bit, so hopefully that doesn't continue, or hopefully I did not miss any news updates. But ultimately that's relatively good news fundamentally, right? And you can also see from the volatility index that closed lower, so we're losing some of this uncertainty. That's a good thing. However, there is still quite a lot of uncertainty, right? Especially right now. Look, I think the US and the EU, I think that's going to be fine. I think some sort of a deal will be made. However, it's really a trade tug of war right now between China and the US. And regarding that, there is still uncertainty. All right. So even though the volatility index is dropping down, it's still super high, right? So therefore today is still going to depend on the development of that. And therefore today is also still relatively unstable. And then if we take a look at Bitcoin specifically, what we have done so far to make it a bit clearer is we liquidated some late shorts. We also had some bullish momentum come in yesterday with some sort of a headline that the tariffs would be postponed for 90 days. But what we did afterwards is we tested those highs right here. We tested that previous value area low, the blue line, and it was respected. All right. So this in general, if you see something like this, like if you see a spike and it gets respected like this, like ultimately what you want to see is that we're able to reclaim that. All right. So that the seller's conviction is tested and that it's broken. But right now it was tested and it held. So that's already bearish. And then outside of that, it's we also hit a major resistance level here at 81,800 or 80,800. Excuse me. Like that's the main level we want to break back into if we want to fill the entire CME gap, which we have to the upside, and just in general if we want more stability. So far, if we just look at this purely technically, it is a rejection from the structure. So it's a confirmation of the bearish structure, and that in combination with the uncertainty we still have, I have to tell you, I think it's most likely, or at least I think it's best to assume that we are going to drop down lower. You can also see right now in the 13-minute time frame that we're trying to get back into that value area we made yesterday. If we are unable to hold 79,000 as support right here, that's the key local support, I think we're going to drop down all the way back down to 77 and 76,500. And then if we're that low, we could also still drop back down or drop down into that level here between 72 and 69,000. So for now, my bias is very, very bearish, but that's mostly because of the uncertainty regarding the fundamentals. And I think the technicals line up as well, just to be fair. So if we get some more clarity about the fundamentals and we get some positive developments, look, I'll be the first that's going to go long on Bitcoin if we break 80,800, right? So that is certainly a possibility, but we need some sort of positive change, because under the current circumstances, fundamentally and technically, it looks most likely we are going for either that level at 76,500, and then probably also testing the low highs here at 74,500. But I'll keep you updated on that. Make sure to follow me on X. I post quite a lot of updates on there as well regarding, oh, that's my post link. But I post quite a lot of updates regarding Bitcoin throughout the day there as well, so check that out. But for now, that's what you need to know. I'll be back later today with a middle of the day market update. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.